Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we will be talking about angle properties in parallel lines, in triangles, quadrilaterals, and in polygons in general. Polygons are shapes that have multiple sides. We will begin with parallel lines. Parallel lines are two lines that continue on and never meet. Two parallel lines cut by a transversal create lots of angles. These two angles A and B, as you can see, they look equal to each other. So A and B are equal because they are corresponding angles. Then C and D also, they look to be the same size as A and B. Now A is equal to C, those are opposite angles. B is equal to C, those are alternate angles. And B is equal to D because they are opposite angles. Now looking at the blue angles over here, they all look to be the same size, which is a different size from the size of angles A, C, D and B. And so basically you have only two different angle sizes in parallel lines. One set of angles is A, C, B and D, the other set is E, F, G and H. And this set can be found by subtracting the first set from 180. So A plus E are angles on a straight line, they add up to 180. C and F add up to 180. G and B add up to 180. D and H add up to 180. And so they are all supplementary angles which add up to 180. E plus A are angles on a straight line, whereas F and B, they also add up to 180, but they are angles inside parallel lines. So you have two sets of angles, and if you know only one angle inside parallel lines, you can find all the others. Now let's look at triangles. Triangles have three interior angles, and over here for an example I have shown one exterior angle, though actually they would have three exterior angles, as we will see later when we will cover polygons. So A plus B plus C, which is the sum of the angles inside a triangle, adds up to 180. And the other rule that we have to worry about is that D is equal to A plus B. Why that is so is because A plus B plus C is equal to 180, and C plus D are angles on a straight line, therefore they also add up to 180. And so if we solve this out, we find that D, which is the exterior angle, is equal to A plus B, which is the sum of the interior opposite angles. So those are the two rules from triangles. Now let's look at quadrilaterals. Quadrilaterals have different angle properties depending on the shape. First we will consider a parallelogram, a rhombus, a rectangle and a square. A rectangle is a special kind of a parallelogram which has all interior angles 90, and a square is a special kind of a rhombus which has all interior angles 90. Parallelograms have two sets of parallel sides, so do rectangles. Rhombuses have two sets of parallel sides, so do squares. And rhombuses and squares all have equal sides. Now if you look at the first property that is common between all four of these shapes, so opposite angles are equal. A, B, B, and that applies to all of them. For rectangles and squares, since all the angles are 90 anyway, so that property still applies to all four shapes. Now let's look at the diagonals. The diagonals have different properties for these four shapes. The diagonals of a parallelogram, the diagonals of a rhombus, of a rectangle and of a square, they all bisect each other. That means that they divide each other into equal parts. However, it is only the diagonals of a rectangle and a square that are equal in length as well. The diagonals of a rectangle are equal, the diagonals of a square are equal. However, the diagonals of all four of these shapes bisect each other, that means they divide each other into equal parts. The next thing about diagonals bisecting is something that is not common to all four of these shapes. So the diagonals bisect each other, that applies to all four shapes. Diagonals are equal, that applies only to a rectangle and to a square. The next thing we will consider is interior angles. The diagonals bisect the interior angles of a rhombus. So if we had angle A over here, that can be divided into two equal parts, angle x, and the same applies to the other side as well, and that applies to the square also. But because the square has interior angles equal to 90, so the two equal parts that the interior angle is going to be divided into is going to be 45. So diagonals bisect each other for a rhombus and for a square. The other thing that is special for a rhombus and a square is that the diagonals bisect at a 90-degree angle. Now if you look at a parallelogram and a rectangle, their diagonals do not bisect interior angles and their diagonals do not bisect at 90 degrees. However, diagonals bisect each other in all four cases. And because these are quadrilaterals, the interior angles add up to 360 degrees. Now let's look at the kite. The kite is basically a shape with two sets of equal sides, and the diagonals of a kite intersect at 90 degrees. And because of two sets of equal sides, that means that it's composed of two separate isosceles triangles. So in this case we have labeled the kite as ABCD. So the first isosceles triangle is BCD and the second isosceles triangle is BAD. They are both isosceles triangles because they have two equal sides. Next we will look at the diagonals of a kite. Just like we looked at the diagonal properties of the other four shapes, we will look at the diagonal properties of a kite. Now a kite has two diagonals. The first diagonal is AC. AC bisects the interior angles of a kite, but the other diagonal BD does not bisect the interior angles of a kite. So it's important to know when we are solving problems for a kite, it's important to know which diagonal we are dealing with, whether we are dealing with the one that bisects the interior angles or not. So how will we tell which diagonal does not bisect the interior angles? BD is the diagonal that does not bisect the interior angles, and BD is the diagonal that separates the two isosceles triangles. It's the line that comes between the two separate isosceles triangles. That's the diagonal that does not bisect the interior angles. Last we are left with the trapezium. The trapezium is a quadrilateral with at least one pair of parallel sides. So in that respect, the parallelogram is also a special kind of trapezium because the parallelogram has two pairs of parallel sides, but the trapezium has to have at least one pair. That means the parallelogram is also a special kind of trapezium. And that's all we know about trapeziums. There is no other property that we have to deal with except for the fact that, of course, because there is one set of parallel sides, so these angles inside parallel lines add up to 180. That's the only thing we would know about a trapezium. Last we come to polygons. Polygons include triangles and quadrilaterals. They are any shape with multiple sides. We will primarily be dealing with regular polygons which have all equal sides and all equal angles. For example, an equilateral triangle, the angles of which are all 60 and the sides of which are all equal. And equilateral triangle is a regular polygon with 3 sides, and a square is a regular polygon with 4 sides with all angles 90 degrees and all sides equal. Now let's consider this regular hexagon. It has all sides equal because it's a regular polygon. Then it has these interior angles, and these interior angles are all equal. The more ones are the interior angles. Now if we start extending the sides, we will find that if it has 6 sides and 6 interior angles, that means it has 6 exterior angles as well, and the interior angles are labeled in red. So we have 6 equal interior angles and 6 equal exterior angles. I is the notation for the interior angle, E is the notation for the exterior angle. Now there are some rules about this regular polygon that we need to remember, and those rules are going to apply to any regular polygon, be it a triangle or equilateral triangle or a square or any other regular polygon like a regular octagon or regular 25gon or whatever. So the first rule is that, as you can see, the interior angle and the exterior angle, they lie on straight lines. That's why I plus E is equal to 180 degrees. That's rule number 1. The second rule is regarding the sum of the interior angles. Now the interior angles, if you add them all up, in this case it is I plus I plus I plus I plus I plus I, that is 6I. So basically it's n multiplied by the size of the interior angle, that is the sum of the interior angles, ni. And the formula for ni is n minus 2 times 180. Third rule is regarding the exterior angles. The exterior angles add up to 360 degrees. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum.